Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, everyone, and welcome to ShitePasta number 10. Yes, 10th encounter of shitty creepypastas here on VileHQ Alleyway, hosted by yours truly, Parodantics. My god, I thought this is gonna be... For this particular moment, I kind of ran out of words that would probably describe this feeling, because 10 stories. That's how much we have reached. And to be fair, I'm not going to sit idly and give you a light story to celebrate this milestone. Oh, no, 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 my dear. No, no. Because we're back to duel with the mindset of JC the Hyena, the author of the SONIC.EXE shitty pasta, who dared, in his pure unfiltered autism, to write a sequel story that's thrice long. Oh yes, SONIC.EXE Round 2 is our subject. As usual, prepare for cameos to happen, because I don't know if I will have the co-host for this show, for this particular story, or not. But I hope, I really sincerely hope, that you will be satisfied while I mince this shitty story into pulp and make a good dish to eat with pure satisfaction. So, but first, as usual, because this story is pretty much long, it consists of 11 pages, I decided to arm myself with half a liter bottle of a 0% ale. Flavored ale to be precise, but an ale, well, 0.3, but should suffice. For from some time to time I will have to drink. So, cheers to you, cheers to celebrate this milestone, and let's get in. But first, there is a note from the author of this story. This is an official sequel to SONIC.EXE. And this, my dear friends, is the scariest part of this shit show. So let's dive in. Head on. It's been more than a year now ever since the SONIC.EXE murders began to happen. Oh, really? A year when this weird phenomena of hyper-realism and bloodied eyes happened. I don't know what to say. And the police department still doesn't know who's doing it or why it's happening. Well, it's your job to find out, so better hurry. The first murders looked as though the killer did a sloppy job at it. But over time the killings, or at least some of the guys back at the station thinks it's just killings, have gotten more elaborate. Please stop abusing the caps lock. Bodies have been starting to look like the victims just dropped dead or there were disappearances. So they dropped dead or just vanished. I can decide, na 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 na, and so on and so on. One thing is certain. All the victims seem to each have a burned or destroyed computer. Well, that's not much of a help in this case. With some data from a game called SONIC.EXE. So wait a second, how did you extract those data? How did you extract this data? I thought the entire computers, that includes motherboard, CPU, RAM, and the hard drives, are toasted to the point of nothing being recoverable at all. Stop making shit up, please. None of us have found any connections or clues that could help us learn why all of this is happening. Well, no, that's not true. So you have found some. There was one cop who may have uncovered more about the murders than we did. Oh, I can't wait to meet that individual. Please bring him in. The guy's name was Derek Green, a really good detective, mainly because he was always teamed up with his sister Chelsea. So you had two cops knowing about this case, knowing more about this case than all other of your. One is not two. They were assigned to investigate the SONIC.EXE murders. I should know because I was their boss at the time. So, what did stop you from calling them? They're both dead. Ho ho! How convenient. But, Jesus. You introduced us two characters who could bring up something to this story, and you say they're gone. they're just corpses. That doesn't make your story feel more pathetic than it is. Sometimes I wonder if I should have helped him. I don't know. So, you should have helped them. There were two of them. Have you forgotten about it? Like, they're siblings. They were siblings. Brother and sister. Anyways, the boys have found Derek's diary when we investigated his apartment. He hasn't been in his home for weeks. Okay. I guess he decided to, I don't know, take a holiday, and he didn't report to you so that you would know. So we assumed he went missing. My God, did he write down a lot? That was my reaction when I saw how long this entire story is. Especially after the chief of police took him off the case. And a lot of what he wrote down seems to connect a lot. Connect. I didn't make that up, there's a stutter. A lot about what's going on with these murders. At least, I hope he was on to something. On to. Shouldn't that better sound? I hope he was close to finding something. I'm just guessing. Here is what Derek wrote. 7:30 p.m. 15th of September 2011. Happy birthday to me! Yeah, happy birthday to you. Would you kindly get this present from me? Don't worry, it's not a boxing glove. I got this diary as a gift from my sister Chelsea. This will certainly come in handy when we both do another investigation. Well, usually the notes, the notebook is it comes in handy for a policeman. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Name's Derek Green. Whose name? Yours? Mine? Your sister's? I presume your name, but yeah. I'm a detective. Wow, I'm not really RLE good at this. Why you shorten up the words like you're writing some blog? Hopefully I'll get better as I write in this. Okay, I'm checking it. Just like a poker player. I say call. Then it's your turn. Anyways, I'll let you know if anything else happens. 11:22 a.m. 24th October 2011. Wow. Month away from my birthday. Wow, pretty interesting way to start off a case on Halloween. You Muppet, Halloween is on 31st of October, not 24th. Our boss told us there's a stiff in one of the local suburbs and he wants us to check it out. I presume he was paralyzed. Quickly, get some paralyzed heal. Wow, been a while since me and Chelsea tackled a murder case. This might be interesting. So what were your previous cases, like shop robberies, pickpocketing or whatever? Or maybe you were sent to, I don't know, patrol the streets crossings. I don't know. We're in a truck right now and we're heading for a house. I am a passenger and ride and ride and ride. So you're in truck, I don't know. Like all that truck that you would bring the folks onto the police station, even though there's no fog to capture and escort to the police station. "2:30 p.m. Jesus. Oh yeah, I certainly need Jesus' help. Whatever happened in this house, I was not expecting. The victim looks like something ripped his mouth open and tried to yank something out from inside. possibly using a vice. I think I've seen a lot of messed up ways to kill a person, all in Postal 2, I think. But this is rather strange. I don't really think any normal person would do this. Please stop writing shortcuts like that. You're not writing a blog post. You got 2 strikes already, detective. 1 more and I will read out as you wrote. The cop present at the crime scene told us that the kid was like this for 2 days and his parent just discovered his body and called us in this morning. Jesus Christ! This idiot, this kiddo that they call him, dropped dead 2 days ago and his parents just found out like that. I presume he was laid like that in his room and his parents needed 2 days to find him in this state, in this condition. How? If you look, I presume a sane parent would certainly, if they had some worries about their child, first thing to do, they would check his room in the first place. These two took 2 days instead of 2 seconds. Totally believable story. And I don't know, didn't they notice this sodding stench of rotting corpse? What's really third strike? Now I will stop correcting you. Either you're right really or not. But I guess you won't. Weird about this is that there's a badly made cut on his chest that's shaped like the number 1. I mean, how badly? This did the blade was the blade blunt or what? It wasn't sharpened, so it had trouble, or was it like, I don't know? Okay, let's move on. Chelsea told me she found a possible clue to the murder. She showed us that the victim owned a computer. That's not surprising if he just sat there. The computer is badly burned and wrecked. Oh, interesting. Both me and Chelsea have a theory to this. Or rather, I don't know, maybe only Chelsea had a theory, because you, dear mister, were just busy typing a blog in your notebook. Either the killer destroyed the computer, or the victim did it himself. Yeah, because after dropping dead, this kiddo was able to burn his computer to smithereens. Either way, we sent it to the station for research. Let me only disclose that. They sent the wreck of a computer to the station, not the corpse of that kiddo. They didn't secure the corpse for an autopsy. Let's move on. "6:10 p.m. I presume the same day. Alright, the guys from the lab have the report. They told us that the computer's wrecked from inside and out. With "and" being in capital letters. And what I mean by that is that everything that was on this kid's computer is completely deleted, while at the same time the computer got destroyed. Yeah, because you had to activate format C and then smash it with something heavy and then pour water to make a short and blow up the power supply to the point it just sets it on fire. The only thing that seems to still be in the computer is some data from a computer game called SONIC.EXE. How were you able to notice this if every piece of data on this kid's computer, including hard drive, was supposed to be completely erased from existence? Honestly, I thought that formatting your hard drive irreversibly erases all the data on the drive to the point they're not recoverable. Not to mention, this computer, as you said, was wrecked from inside and out, which means it's a complete junk. I love how this story does not contradict itself. But let's move on. We are just one page in. 10 to go. 4:30 p.m. 11th November 2011. How convenient. All 11s except that number 2 and number 0. A couple more murders these last few weeks. All the same killing method. For weeks, and they didn't even get an autopsy on each of them. Dead bodies, torn open mouths, destroyed computers. The more recent killings are looking less messy, as if the killer is being more careful with tearing out whatever he's tearing out. Wait a second. Being more careful with tearing out whatever he's tearing out from inside these victims' bodies. Does anyone understand that piece of bollocks that is this sentence? I can barely understand that. There are also cuts on these victims' chests that seem to be in numerical order. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I see. So he's basically playing a game. This killer. The killer seems to be keeping count of all the people he's killing. How bloody original. How bloody original. 8:30 p.m. Yeah, because we jumped 4 bloody hours into the evening. Had dinner. Both me and Chelsea are brainstorming with what's been going on. I presume Chelsea just was telling you her possible assumptions and whatever, and you were busy just writing all that shite. And you basically shrug, yeah, okay, keep going. It's really strange. The fact that computers are getting destroyed every time there's a murder victim. What? Every time there's a murder victim? That does... This sentence is not written in colloquial English. I mean, it appears to be some kind of English, but certainly is not the colloquial one, and also it's not grammatically correct. And we find that there's some old data from the same game, SONIC.EXE. Yes, you found some old data of one game on the computers that are supposed to be unusable, and on the hard drives that's supposed to be broken. Or maybe, I don't know, you're making shite up because your tiny little brain can't understand what the flying fuck is a bad sector. And there you can have thousands of them on a broken hard drive. SONIC.EXE. That's that shitty story. That name reminds me of all the times me and Chelsea played some of our old Sonic the Hedgehog video games. I presume there weren't that many because, you know, Chelsea was more focused on work and you were lazing out, so you were just playing them mostly. I remember when we used to play Sonic Heroes, she always liked playing as Rouge the Bat. Yeah, I know who Rouge is. That's actually a funny character. And I always liked playing as Vector. Okay, I don't know that character actually. But it's weird. What does a Sonic game, a possibly fan-made one at that, got to do with all these killings? The author of this story knows that only. Don't ask me. (2:45 p.m. 2nd December 2011). Another murder, big surprise there. But now both me and Chelsea agree that all these murders are connected with that game. Okay. Maybe the killer made it as his calling card. Do we really need to bring in Phantom Thieves from Persona 5 here? They already have enough troubles of theirs. Don't bring them into this shitty story. The chief told us not to worry so much about a simple video game. Yeah, simple. I guess not in the mind of the author. And just stick with what's going on with the murders. Yeah, go to fucking keep working on the case. Stop scribbling in your notebook at least once. 6:30 p.m. Autopsy came in again. Oh, they finally decided to do an autopsy. But again, sorry. You said autopsy came in again. But you haven't mentioned that you were doing it before, at least once. So how could it come again? The doctors told us that aside from the wounds from the chest and mouth, the victims don't seem to show any signs of a murder or a struggle. Excuse me, please? In fact, as baffling as it seems, all the victims appear to be in perfect health apart from the fact that they're dead. Newsflash, dear detective. If the victims are dead, they cannot be in perfect health because none of their organs is working. I air-checked the word dead because that's where the report came out really disturbing. Okay, so if they're not dead, then what? The doctors stated that they're all in what appears to be in a persistent vegetative state, meaning that these people are in fact still alive, their brains and hearts are still working, but they're all in an empty, dead-like state, as if something robbed them of their minds or sense of self. Keep this paragraph in mind, dear audience, because from now on, this story will keep insisting all those victims of those murders are dead, are dropped dead 100%, despite saying they're not dead at all. And let me ask you just one question. Couldn't this be determined by checking out the victims at the crime scene? By simply checking them if there's any sign of breath? You didn't do that in the first place. That's the very first thing to do when you arrive at a scene where someone's knocked unconscious. When you see a man laying out on a street, not responding to you, first thing you do is checking his sudden breath to determine if he's still alive. And you didn't even dare doing that in the first place. Which, I don't know how it looks like in the US, because I presume this story is based in the United States. But, for example, in Poland, if someone sees anyone in need of help, in a direct danger, and doesn't do that, then he commits a criminal offense that's punishable by jail time. Up to 5 years in prison. I don't know how it is in the US, but my guess is there are similar measures applied, which in your case would also result in kicking you out of the police at best. Because at worst, you will be rotting in prison and picking up the soap. Let's move on. Chelsea stated it was probably one of the freakiest things she has seen in her days as my partner, or I don't blame her. Oh, really? Believe me, dear, there are way freakier things in the world that you haven't even seen before. Who would be capable of actually stealing people's senses of self? The Satan? It's like the devil is handpicking innocent people and robbing them of their souls for eternal damnation. Well, as far as I know, the innocent people can't go to hell. If a man goes to hell, then it's his own choice. He can't be just dragged there, being handpicked by the Satan or whatever fuck, for eternal damnation. But I digress. 5:42 p.m. December 14th December 2011. Sorry for this cock up with dates, but never mind. Chelsea has been acting very strange lately. She seems quieter at work, and whenever we go home she goes back into her room. I'm guessing she's just as determined to learning more about this case as I am. I presume that your sister was getting tired of your laziness, because all the time you do is writing some shite in your notebook in a form of a blog post. And tell me more, do you expect anyone to give you a thumb up, a like, give a comment? In a paper notebook? Why were we bloody hired into the police? If she's onto something, I hope she lets me knows first. Lets me knows first, not lets me know first, before we make it official. After all, we are a team. Yeah, so bloody good team that she's doing 100% of the entire work, while you just sitting at the side, scribbling some shite. 2 p.m. 19th December 2011. Chelsea didn't go to work with me. Said she wasn't feeling well. Oh. I presume my assumption was right. She's getting she's getting fed up with you. I'm starting to get a little worried for her. About now. Which was like, weren't you, I don't know, worried a little 5 days ago? Ever since we took this case, she's been acting rather odd. I mean, the interpretation, there are lots of interpretations. You can just handpick one. I don't know, maybe I'm overreacting. Boss told me to not worry about it and maybe just look into what she was researching on. I might do that. Yeah, I can totally totally nab on my sister's advancements and call that mine because I'm just a great detective. Just Batman can just kiss me in the love pump. That's how good I am. Also, several news about people worshipping this guy recently. What guy? If you say this, you mean a specific one. Calls himself X. I presume the name ABC was already taken. I swear, the things kids will be into nowadays. Talking about yourself, mister? 9:30 p.m. 24th December 2011. Oh, how nice, it's Christmas Eve. Almost time for Christmas. Though I don't know if I should celebrate. What bloody reason you have to not celebrate Christmas? I mean, I would be... I don't know. I just can't. I'm just out of words on you. Chelsea's been shut up in her room almost every day, not responding to me. And whose fault is that? I hope she's alright. Anyways, I've been looking into Chelsea's work and I think she might have found something. But here's a catch. She encrypted all her documents with a password, and I'm too stupid to guess it. Or I don't know. I could use a decrypting software, but I'm too stupid to actually use it. No, that's not what he has written. He written this. Apparently the killer must be going after anyone who plays the SONIC.EXE game. Yes, this story still insists that all those victims who played this bloody game are dead. That they were murdered. Even though a couple paragraphs ago we found out they're not dead. They're essentially veggies. And once they've played the game, the killer tracks them down, kills them, even though he doesn't kill them at all, and keeps count by carving the numbers onto their chest. How bloody original. But what about the fact that almost every victim looks as though they had their soul sucked right out of them? I mean, if you saw one killer with horrendously ugly face, I presume you too would be you two would be horrified by how hideous he looks like, to the point you would basically pass out. Like if you've seen a bloody ghost. Wait a minute, I just remembered something. A few days ago, Chelsea came home from the store and went back into her room. She said she found a new game. Oh my god, Chelsea! She bought World of Warcraft and she just locked herself up and is leveling up. Yeah, because World of Warcraft is a paid subscription game, so you need to use it hard until it expires. 12:32 a.m. Note, the writing is a bit sloppy and there are tears splotched here and there. Chelsea is dead. She found the game. Oh my god, why? Totally believable story. Can you just read it out? Can you just read it out from my voice? Jesus. She's not dead. She's basically comatose. "4:50 a.m., 25th December 2011. Even though that 12:32 a.m. was also 25th of December, but that's something I might pass on, even though... Oh wait, I can't pass on it. It just came... It just happened 4 hours later. I don't know, do you have like, I don't know, time traveling abilities? I called the guys back at the station to help me move Chelsea. Oh god, why? Why her? Did the killer found out and tried to cover his tracks? No, she basically wasn't ready to become a hikikomori. No, it doesn't look like anything was taken or destroyed. Well, except for the computer. Yeah, so basically there was something destroyed. And the game is still here. How are you... Why such a assumption? Are you able to determine that? Did you, I don't know, read out the content of the hard drive? I wanted to keep it to find out why this had happened, but the chief demanded I hand it over to him. Yes, because usually in criminal cases, you hand over the evidence to the police. It doesn't matter if this case is involving any of the policemen. Evidence is evidence and needs to be thoroughly checked. Why are you so stubborn to keep this junk in your home? The way he asked for it is really odd. It's as if he doesn't want me to do anything to this game disc. So wait a second. Did your chief demanded you to hand over the entire wreck of a computer or just a game disc? I presume we won't find any answer to this at any point. The funeral for my sister will be prepared in a few days. Yes. We have crossed this bridge. Derek wants to bury his sister alive. I can't believe that Chelsea, my own sister, is gone. She bloody isn't gone! She's not dead! Did you check her pulse? Did you check her breath? When I find out who killed her, even though he didn't kill her at all, I'm gonna make sure he pays dearly. I hope you pay dearly for fucking up the minds of everyone who already read this story. You bloody moron. 4:50 p.m., 28th of December 2011. Came back from the funeral. God, I am a mess. No, you're a bloody moron and motherfucker who just buried his sister alive. Now, thanks to you, she will drop dead because of asphyxiation. And the only man who you'll be legally able to blame for the death of your sister is you and no other. Thankfully, Boss was there for me. He's the only person who has ever supported me and Chelsea. I'm glad he's on my side about this case. The boss is also kind of a moron. On his place, I would basically punch this idiot in the face for doing such thing, and I would certainly report to the chief to expel him from the police and place him under the charge of involuntary manslaughter. Let's just stop shouting. Oh, I presume I won't stop shouting because we still have a couple pages to go. Yeah, that's just third page. Yeah, 3 pages, and I'm slowly start breaking. A woman came to me in the funeral party. Watch out, she's gonna advertise you something. Her name is Shannon Goldman, and she was supposedly a representative for the cult of X, as she called it. Yeah, because cult of ABC or whatever was already taken and they couldn't register that. She told me she was sorry for my loss and pulled out some weird religious crap about X wishing me a happy year. Yeah, she totally was sorry for your loss. I don't know, maybe she used some sort of hidden microphone to snitch on you or what? Seriously? Who is this X guy anyway? Yeah, I'm also kind of curious. Who is this X? She told me that soon X will make things better for the whole world, which pretty much ended the conversation right here. That woman is crazy. Yeah, how many self-proclaimed messiahs we already had throughout the history? Anyways, more news about the Code of X doing more crazy stuff. Wow. One more wow and I surely come to you and punch you in the face. Whoever this X guy is, he's making as much an impact on the public as the killer is. A killer who's not actually a killer, to be precise. 2:20 p.m., 2nd of January 2012. Oh my god, just 11 months and a dozen days till the end of the world and the memory of that blood. Another murder. Jesus, this guy never has a break with this, does he? There should be a comma before does he, but never mind. This is like the 22nd killing. Oh really? We jumped from 6 victims. Well, 7 because of your sister who got buried alive, but by her brother moron. To 22. What is this alleged killer doing by that time? Was he shooting out at all those idiots playing that SONIC game with some machine gun with neurotoxin bullets? What is he trying to gain from killing all the people? I told you already couple times, and I'm gonna repeat that until you finally get it. Even though you're a fictional character, but still, I will keep saying that till the end of the story. They're not being killed. And how the hell is he getting away with it so goddamn easily? Mainly because he doesn't kill them anyway. I gotta know what it is Chelsea was finding. She was onto something, I just know it. Maybe if I look around in her room I might find a clue. Yeah, because looking at the computer was pointless because 1, it was taken by by my colleagues in the police, and 2, I don't know a bloody password. Although I don't think that would be any useful because this computer is supposed to be a sodding wreck. "5:30 p.m. Well, whatever Chelsea found, she left a lot of good clues for me." By that you mean, I don't know, was she writing stuff in her own notebook? The computer isn't entirely broken. In fact, it seems like it only got beat up a few times, but still surprisingly working like new. Even though we established that those computers of those every goddamn man, woman and children who played this sodding game, they had their computers. Wrecked to the point they were irreversibly broken. But for some bizarre reason, I presume the author's keyboard that gave you an immunity, the computer of your now surely dead sister, wasn't broken. In fact, it was just working like it was brand new, fresh out of the factory of the work table. Because I don't know if it was a desktop or a laptop or a server. We don't know. It's actually work 100% operational. You bloody bastard. You bloody lying bastard. Okay, hold your emotions, please. This isn't even half of the story. Calm yourself down, read this out, then you will unleash the entire fury. Okay, so just one more sip and we'll go further. I won't let this sodding story think it has beaten me down. I'll tear it to pieces till the end. I'm actually surprised I didn't see it like this that night. Well, for your information, I'm peacefully surprised. To the point I hardly hold that fist at my side to not release it on your stupid face. But then again, if you lost someone you love, you too would lose sight of very important details surrounding you. Yeah, especially when you're the cause of that loss. Anyways, I checked the computer and there's an icon for the SONIC.EXE game on her desktop. My god, how the hell did Chelsea even get this? It was already established that it was from a shop. She purchased it with her own money. I guess it doesn't really matter. It does matter because, you know, it's an allegedly lethal game. And this shop is distributing it. There's your clue. Just pick it up. What's really important is what I found in her notes. Ugh. But hey, at least you didn't have to use a password because you had just a notebook. Apparently Chelsea was terrified of this game. Something from the game scared the crap out of her. In fact, according to what she wrote down, she made it seem like the game is cursed or something. Yeah, it's cursed. It's cursed it's cursed with cliches and overplayed tropes that are simply pathetic. But that can't be the case. There's no way a computer game would harm anyone, right? Well, if you ask me, I would say it depends on who you ask. Because some hardcore gamers will say, no, it doesn't harm, but mass media would say, yeah, it is harmful, it's more lethal than a bullet, even though the bullet would kill you instantly. Unlike this piece of crap. "7:12 a.m., 3rd of January 2012. Okay, I changed my mind. Maybe there is something spooky about the game after all. Last night I had a dream. No, a nightmare, more like. Just calm yourself down, okay? I remember it well. I was trapped in darkness. All was quiet, except someone was laughing and talking to me. I guess that was Kafka from Final Fantasy VI. Yeah, I finally found where, in what game does this character actually appear. I kept having visions of Sonic the Hedgehog smiling and appearing all around me as he talked to me. I presume he kept talking to you, gotta go fast, while running circles around you. When he got to my face and yelled, "Play it!" that's when I woke up with a fright. Yeah, because a cartoony blue hedgehog is so bloody scary when he just speaks with a lower voice. Why would Sonic want me to play a game that possibly killed my sister? 1. Would Sonic want you to play? Sonic want. Are you sure it's not that X or the programmist of this Sonic game? And 2. You son of a bitch. The only person responsible for death of your sister is you, because you buried her alive. "3:30 p.m. Another murder. Number 24. Kinda inconsistent, that killing spree. I thought it would be like numbers 56 already. And the cult of X seems to be pestering the public more and more. What's their deal? Don't they realize that there's a killer on the loose? I would possibly reference the Song of the Doors, but for this story, I don't think it will be respectful to those musicians. So, my apologies. Wait a minute. What if this ex-weirdo is the killer? Why do you assume that in the first place? It would make sense ever since this murder started. This cult has been hanging around recruiting more and more people. How? Are they acting like Jim Jones used to? And this ex-character they're worshipping, who is he? Why is it that this cult even started after several murders have taken place? I have no bloody idea, don't ask me. I looked over Chelsea's notes again and she seemed to agree with me. Say what? Apparently X has something to do with the SONIC.EXE game. Did he make the game? Did he somehow got a hold of it and thought, hey, if I kill people with this game, people will like me? I don't know who actually liked this story, but never mind. If what X is doing is real, then something is seriously wrong here. Please somebody take off this take away the caps lock button from him so he won't be able to use it. "6:30 p.m. Unbelievable! The chief of police came over to my apartment a while ago and told me that the investigation may be too much for me to handle, and he said I was off the case. What the hell? You know there is a thing called impartiality, which you do not apply to because one of the supposed victims was your sister. I've practically found a lot of evidence for it, and he practically told me that I shouldn't continue on. Wrong, you idiot! Your sister did! Your sister found a lot of evidence, as you said, and basically it was all her work while you were busy writing happy birthday in the death note. My God, now I realized. It is you who are responsible for her death, because you wrote her name multiple fucking times in the death note. But you also wrote your name, so be aware. Because you don't know day and neither day nor the hour. He also said that Chelsea will have wanted me to quit with this after what happened. Bullshit! And all I can say about what you said is bullshit. Whatever. I'm not gonna let some fathead stop me from solving these games. I am gonna find out who X really is, why he's doing all of this, and I'm gonna turn him in. First you should turn in yourself for involuntary manslaughter. But I presume the Death Reaper will be faster. than your justice system. "5 p.m. 8th of February 2012. More murders. We're up to 28 now." Yes, because it took over a month from 24 to 28. Jesus, how this supposed maniac is inconsistent. And I presume he also fails to this idiot also fails to drop the suspicions away from him, to misguide the policeman investigating this case. The boss contacts me about it every now and then behind the chief's back. I presume he won't be keeping his job for long, because I presume they're all recorded. He told me that whoever is causing all these murders is one smart son of a bitch. I can't really blame him. As much as I hate to admit it, I have to give X credit for being able to kill 28 people so far. Even though they weren't dead. But you keep assuming they're dead. That's why you buried your own sister alive. But he's not gonna get away with it. So won't you with your crime. Anyways, I've looked over Chelsea's notes again, and what she wrote down before she got attacked was very odd, nonsensical stuff about a Sonic plushie always watching her, spying on her. I need a drink. Sorry, I can't take it. I know it's alcohol-free ale, but I'm suffering, but I must stay on. I never saw a Sonic doll in her apartment. She said it was a plushie, like a teddy bear, not a Sonic doll. Are you trying to mix it up with Tails doll of all shite, which is already a broken character? Then again, I never questioned my sister's sanity. And I also didn't question my sanity, even though... Wait a second. Do I really sound like I'm going completely cuckoo? Please answer me. She was always the smart one in things, and it just pains me to realize how broken she was just before she died. Do I really have to repeat that again? The feast still awaits. The feast still awaits. I didn't tell the boss about X or Chelsea's notes. Yes, because you have just bloody evidence on your hand that you didn't hand over to your boss. And you don't plan to do it either, even though, as his subordinate, you're obliged. Even if you were taken off the case, You're in possession of valuable evidence that could be actually necessary to solve the case. But in all of your wisdom, you refuse to hand it down. I know he won't believe me. Nobody will. If you said before that your boss is the only man within the whole police station you're working in that you can wholeheartedly trust, then why do you assume, you moron, he won't believe you? Despite the fact that you have a bloody evidence right on your hand. I guess if you have to solve a case, you have to do it yourself. Good bloody luck with your skills and intelligence. 8:30 p.m. Someone sent a friend request on my Skype. Watch out, it might be a pedo bear in disguise. He calls himself Cole. Yeah, but I guess he presented himself. Hi, I'm Cole. I'm 12 years old. Nice to meet you. He said he can help me with this case, but only if I can trust him. Close the program, shut off the computer, and report yourself to your boss that you possess a valuable evidence. I really don't have a choice. I'm willing to do anything to put an end of this. So I decided that I would trust a completely strange person to me. A complete stranger. Not even a bloody policeman in the beginning. A civilian, in fact. Anyways, Cole told me that I first have to get files of all the victims in the SONIC.EXE murders. That's what the news is starting to call them now that the police has confirmed the old game data in the computers as evidence. This person, an unknown stranger, requested an access to possibly classified data on the case of strange phenomena that is thoroughly investigated by the police. A data that he had no authorization given. And that moron is about to hand all that data over. Why hasn't he been arrested yet. Later on tonight, I'm gonna pay the station a little visit. You could basically go and ask a chief for a leave. Because of all the circumstances. But I guess you won't. 11:45 p.m. Jesus, what a close call. Please stop bringing poor Jesus here. He already has a lot of things to do. I just made it back from the station. I managed to grab all the files that I had. I managed to grab all the files and I had a run-in with the chief. He asked what I was doing back in the station. I lied and told him that I had to pick up a few things from my office and decided to take some time off. Thankfully, he believed me. But it's strange, the way he talked to me sounded like he didn't believe me in the slightest. Yeah, because it's not a usual thing for a random policeman to walk into the station and go out of it with possibly huge quantities of documents. Anyways, I got the files just like Cole asked. Why am I still in service? I have no bloody idea. I told Cole that all of the victims had the same occurrences. All of them were in a dead-like state, as if their souls were taken out, that they were all numbered, and that each computer the victims had were somehow destroyed and had SONIC.EXE inside the hard drives. Despite the fact that it's still called the murder case, all of those people are pronounced dead, even though they're not bloody dead. The computers were basically burned to smithereens, yet the hard drives were somehow operational enough to reveal that this bloody game was set there. Indeed. I bloody love how this story does not contradict itself. Cole said there is a reason why all the victims had SONIC.EXE in their computers. And boy, did I not like the answer. What was so fucking scary about it that you didn't like it? What was so outrageous? The cult of X is involved. Their members, after someone gets killed, steals the game disc the victim had at the time and hides it away for a while until it shows up later on a random place to easily obtain it. Yeah, many members, and it's still written as if just it was for all the time one individual responsible. These random locations could be anything: a game store, a pawn shop, the black market, eBay, Craigslist, random yet seemingly harmless deliveries, anywhere that involves buying stuff. Yes, because everyone would like to buy a CDR disc with the inscription made with a marker that is basically a living proof of a that is 100% screaming right into the customer's face: I'm a bloody bootleg pirated shite. That way, when the next potential victim finds it, he or she becomes the new owner of the SONIC.EXE game until X comes to kill them, and then a member of the cult comes to steal away the game disc again, and thus the cycle begins anew. Even though this bloody X does not kill. And how all these cultists would be able to follow them? Do they run a surveillance network or whatever? I asked Cole why the cult is even doing this, and he told me that X, the bastard. Oh really? I thought that was X the Conqueror. Is clearly some sort of holy figure to the cult, and they will do whatever it takes to be on his good side. What does they see in X anyhow? Even though this should be written, what do they see? Why is it they like him so much that they're willing to be accomplices to murder? Or better yet, what kind of power does X have to strike so much terror into people that they'll do whatever he says? You know, asking some random on Skype is not a good way to solve, to get an answer to this particular question. But you know who would easily say all that to you if you asked? One certain lady named Shannon, you mentioned a couple paragraphs ago. The insider in the cult. You could always ask her. "3:30 p.m., 1st of March 2012. I couldn't hold myself any longer. I had to know what Chelsea found in that game. So I played it. And let the autism flood all this story. As if it didn't flood it anyway. Anyways, when I got on the character... Wait a second. Sorry, I jumped a bit. It started off pretty basic with the classic Sonic the Hedgehog title screen until I started it. Sonic, his eyes had gone black and there were red glowing dots staring at me. Boring! Anyways, when I got on the character selection, yes, this game apparently has one. Boring, we know that already. I was shown the character lineup. Let me guess, Tails, Knuckles and Eggman. Oh, actually no. It's Shadow, Sally. Ugh. Yeah, I know I didn't talk about a story involved with that character, but again, on my to defend myself, I don't know that character at all. As far as I know, she was only in some sort of animated show. And Rogue. Rogue was Chelsea's favorite character. Oh, really? I presume this must be quite important. I chose not to play as her out of respect for Chelsea, even though I didn't have that much respect after I buried her alive. And chose Shadow. That laugh. It sounded just like the laugh Sonic made in that dream I had. Ho 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 ho! You don't have to thank me for that reenactment. Don't worry, I thought he is laughing like Kafka. Pity it's not Kafka, Franz Kafka. The game started with a level title called Let's Play. With a level titled right in English. Actual English. And I was shown Shadow standing in what appears to be a hallway of mirrors with a faint echoing sound of a piano playing a calm melody in the distance. I would like to see a hallway of mirrors on a Mega Drive game. How would this look like actually? I had Shadow walk down the hall, and every time he walked past a mirror I was introduced to a more twisted, messed up version of himself in the mirror. Well, actually that looks kind of funny because, you know, that's an actual attraction in a Luna Park. I remember being in one. It really looked funny. But this is not just looking twisted in a funny way. No. Here, his reflections, red markings were oozing red as if he was bleeding. Oh really, I thought maybe he had red markings because it was canon. And his eyes were bloodshot to the point where they were red, bleeding and pulsating. Watch out! They're about to jump out of his eye sockets. And he had probably the most psychotic grin on his face. Get the fuck out, Jeffrey. You're not welcome here. It's like I was looking at a walking fountain of blood. Oh really, I thought he was a walking fountain of tomato sauce. I had Shadow walk past the last mirror and the music stopped. Shadow was now walking down an empty, quiet hallway. I had this growing sense of dread in my stomach. I have some sense in my stomach, but that's not dread. That's more of a like embarrassment at you, Mr. Green. And then Shadow stopped at one more mirror. He stopped right at it, showing his weird bleeding reflection. And then that laugh came again, and I saw that the real Shadow was slowly transforming into his reflection, bleeding and smiling. Boring. What the hell kind of game is this? A fucked up game. Full of bullshit. And then Sonic appeared, with those black and red eyes, red tears coming down his face. He smiled as he looked at Shadow. And then the screen went black, and then came a message on the screen. It's not the outside that's important. It's who you are on the inside that really intrigues me. Well, I don't think he would intrigue you that much, knowing he's a bloody moron. When it came back to the level, Shadow was sitting on the floor, cradling in a half-fetal position like a child, just grinning that freaky grin. Boring. Then Sonic smiled as he looked at me, and then he launched at Shadow, the screen going black with a loud pixelated screeching noise. Because really, the noise can be described as pixelated despite pixels being a visual medium. You can see pixels, not hear them. A garbled, distorted. This would sound way more convincing. The noise cannot be pixelated. Gah! Sorry. Holy shit, that I got. I guess I've been watching too many VTubers. I still feel as if I can still hear it ringing in my ears. Yeah, possibly you can hear any ringing because it's your brain being so small, bouncing off the walls of your skull. That laugh came again, and another message. You're learning more about this better than anyone, aren't you, Derek? What the fuck? Yeah, exactly. What the flying fuck? How the hell does this game know me? This doesn't make any sense. Yeah, given that it was your sister's computer, then it should read your sister's name or any username she put in this computer. I have no bloody idea why did it show your name? Although, oh wait, I know what. It's a simple explanation. The author's keyboard. It brought me back to the main menu, and I saw that Shadow was now in one of the TV screens, looking as he did earlier, looking rather mindlessly happy. Really. Mindlessly happy. I'm mindlessly pissed off. And I really would like to, if this idiot existed, I would really lunge at him and basically don't explode, don't explode. I had to turn the game off. My head hurts so much from all this. Don't steal my lines. I'm suffering here mostly because I'm reading your bollocks. Was this Chelsea found? A haunted computer game, and how some guy is using this to as an excuse to kill people just to gain a cult. Even though he doesn't kill, but why am I still reminding you this even though you're just so stubborn in saying they're being killed? I just don't get it. Why is all of this happening? Please take this caps lock away from him. Who is X? Who is X? Who is X? Sonic? No, his real name is Jeremy. How many pages I have left? That's 6 out of 11. This is the half point. I thought like we going. I thought this was the end. I don't know. Maybe this story would be better concluded here, but sadly it isn't. We still have 5 pages to go.
What you doing?
Wait a second. Who's there?
It's me, Amelia.
Oh, hello. Sorry.
It's alright.
I'm basically reading out the story. It's being recorded though, first and foremost, but I thought there will be some people talking about. Never mind. If you want to, you can hear that story.
Okay.
Nope. So, sorry if I'm just screaming because well, as convention for this read outside in reading really shitty stories. So sorry for that off top. 4:30 p.m. 2nd of March 2012. I've come to a conclusion. It's obvious that X is no ordinary human being. In fact, I no longer even think he's human. He can no longer be a human if he wasn't one in the first place. Cole filled me in about him. X is really called SONIC.EXE, named after the game that's been causing all this trouble. Yeah, because possibly that's how he introduces himself in a sudden office, wanting to get some business done or whatever. Cole Skyped me recently that SONIC.EXE has been around long before the game did. Yeah, because he must come from the times before the 7th century AD. Because this game was made in the year 666. I asked him what X was exactly, and his answer unnerved me. You're unnerving me actually a couple of times, yet I'm still holding myself to not punch you in the face. SONIC.EXE is a monster. No, not the monsters you see in horror films or video games. He's a real monster. Yeah, so basically he's not real at all. And he's not just any monster apparently. Cole told me that X is a supernatural being from another dimension. How fucking crazy is that? The question should rather be, how is that fucking possible? But it's true, it has to be. No, it hasn't. No, it doesn't. X has this power to control all of reality in his realm, and he is unable to do the same in our world because he can't enter it. Although apparently he can, because you know... never mind. It's gonna be explained in the next paragraph. So, some time ago, yeah, the year 666, someone made a game disc that would serve as a window between X's world and ours. Anyone who plays it gets a front row seat of what X's dimensions look like. And it's hell. Yeah, because it was pretty difficult to play a CDR disc in the times where where the computers weren't existing, at least not the electronic computers. Not literally hell, but pretty freaking close. Yeah, all that hyper-realistic blood or well, scary plushies. Oh my god, we're all gonna die out of boredom. Over time, after someone plays X's game, X sends out a plushie of Sonic to act as a spy for him. Then when the time is right, X is able to open the window for a short time and pull people into his world where they are trapped forever. I mean, yeah, he pulled them so well that he left sudden bodies. Like lifeless shells, even though they were still alive. This is how he's able to kill people so easily without anyone noticing. Even though he doesn't kill. He comes out of the computer, pulls the soul out of the person's body, and then goes back into the computer to retreat into his dimension. It would be pretty difficult without the internet connection. You know, the Ethernet cable, the Wi-Fi. There, he can make the soul he captured his slave for all eternity. Yeah. I'm sorry. If I was told about this long ago, I would not have believed it. But now I'm straight up convinced. Everything Cole has told me is the truth so far. And right now I am writing down all that he's telling me just in case of any of this information becomes useful. And you don't have any possible way to verify what is this Muppet talking to you. And besides, you met a cult insider, that Shannon lady. Why don't you ask her first? "6:30 p.m. Cole told me that he has to go. He'll get in trouble if he gets caught talking to me. But he says he'll Skype me again soon. Until then, I'm asked to write down the names of any potential victims this time. I am also asked to keep an eye out." The cult is getting suspicious. Yeah, I guess I guess the cult leader, or this X or SONIC.EXE, finds out that some idiot is abusing his internet link without paying. I would too be pissed if someone cranked me the suddenly high bill. 4:30 p.m. April 22nd of April 2012. 29th murder and no word from Cole yet. Consistency in killing, in alleged killing, is so consistent. I nearly escaped from a few members of the cult and anybody that might be involved. Basically, you dropped like the easiest way to obtain the evidence. I can't trust anyone now. I need to stay in my apartment more often so no one finds me. Please shut yourself down and stay for all eternity. We won't regret your life at all. The person killed, but not killed this time, was a middle-aged guy named Paul. Who might it be? He was very paranoid of the outside world and anything could traumatize the poor guy. So not that Paul, I thought. Apparently he had a Sonic Adventure 2 game to stay sane and he always played as Dr. Eggman. As if this information was actually useful. I betcha X has made the poor man a vegetable in his world by now. No, he made him a veggie in your world, not his. May 4th, 2012. I just realized something. Oh, quickly, please tell us that sudden revelation. Why is it that the chief tried to get me off of their job? Why did he confiscate the damn game disc? Why has he been practically intercepting every one of mine and Chelsea's move on this case? So, what's your explanation? I'll tell you why. He's in on this. He's working for the cult of X. It's the only explanation. No, actually, it isn't the only explanation, because my explanation is that he found out that you're basically a useless wanker who's basically putting all his sobs and bullshit theories into diary. And making assumptions out of your fucking arse. While your sister was doing all that job. And now she won't. Because you buried her alive. He took the game disc so that way the cult could use it to continue with the killings. Yeah, they wouldn't continue the killings if this disc was locked thoroughly, unless you took it as well. Then they will surely continue. But the boss, he can't be involved in this too. He's been mine and Chelsea's friend for years. No. I don't think he would ever go in on this. Why would he be? Even though he did a really good job supporting you and your sister. Matter of fact, I don't think he even knows about what's going on. Yeah, you're not telling him anyway, so how is he supposed to know? Damn, Chief, why would you do this? When I uncover this conspiracy, I'm ratting you out. Rat yourself out, you muppet. Conspiracy my arse. That's a load of bollocks. But we still have 4 pages to go. August 12th of August 2012. Boss called. 2 more murders. 30 and 31. Oh my god. Some kid named Tom. Oh my god. Was it that Tom? From the original SONIC.EXE? Some kid named Tom hanged himself weeks before he gained a package from his deceased friend Kyle. No, I haven't gone insane yet. Don't worry. Let me read that sentence word by word. Some kid named Tom hanged himself weeks before he gained a package from his deceased friend Kyle. Grammar is rolling in the grave at this point. Like a rotor in a motor. When you apply 230 volts on the stator. Oh my god. How blind the author had to be to not notice this sodding fuck up. I have no bloody idea, but at least he made me laugh. Once. After 7 pages of this piece of shite. And according to this sentence, that lad named Tom from the original SONIC.EXE story was already dead when he played this sodding game. I don't know if I'm supposed to cry or laugh at this. Because it sounds so idiotic yet so funny. Not surprisingly, they both played the damn game. Kyle played it first and passed it on to Tom before X got him. Yeah, how was he supposed to pass it to his friend that was basically a dead man? Or maybe he was a dead man walking like the Green Mile. Yes, no. Let's move on before I just lose the sense of where I am in this story. Carl tried to put up a good fight against X, but he clearly was no match for the Fiend. Yeah. What fight? He basically just was running away like an idiot, but he forgot that Sonic's sodding motto is gotta go fast. Faster, faster and faster. So you can't run. You cannot outrun him at all. So Kyle tried to warn Tom not to play the game, but Tom did anyway, because as we all know, Tom was a smart gamer. X used this as an advantage to mess with poor Tom's head, make him believe that his curiosity and wanting to help others, wanting to help others, was what caused his best friend suffering. Yeah, because his curiosity was so strong that he refused to do what his friend told him to do in the first place by destroying the game, even though his friend could do this by himself. Tom tried to commit suicide by hanging in order to save himself from X, but apparently it failed. Because he possibly wanted to hang himself with a sodding rubber band. Because that's how smart gamer he was. X is not only dangerous and powerful, he's downright sadistic and insane. The author of this story was probably insane writing all of that crap. He thinks that all the horrific things he's done is all part of some silly game. Yeah, the silly game of the author to basically decrease our brain cell count. X, you monster, why are you doing this? What are you trying to gain? I'd ask you the same. What are you trying to gain on this? "24th of August 2012. Played more of the game. The level Sally was in was really odd. She was in what appeared to be an old, desolate city. The sky a dark mixture of clouds, everything all dull, empty and dead. For fuck's sake, you again rip off the Silent Hill. Go fuck yourself." What was weird is how she was smiling. Maybe she found something good. Yeah, possibly a drug. No, that wasn't the case at all. After I had her run and jump past debris, she reached the end of the level. Pity it wasn't the end of the world. Sonic, no. X was there. Oh really, I thought it was your chief telling you that you're expelled from police and you're under arrest. She smiled at him and he smiled back. "Fuck off, Jeffrey." Then another message. "See, I'm not such a bad guy, Derek." Then another. "I can be kind when I want to." Then it showed X holding Sally's hand, smiling warmly at her. She looked different now. Her eyes were sewn shut and her color palette seemed darker. Yeah, I mentioned the sodding SONIC.EXE. I might tear this piece of crap at a later date. Don't know when, but maybe I will. X gently placed his hands around her head. I really do love humans, Derek. I don't think humans would love you. I rather presume they would laugh at your presence. So much fun to play with. Lenny face. In fact, I guess you could say... Then it showed me a close-up of X with a wide, mad grin violently snapping Sally's neck. She was still smiling as though she didn't feel any pain from it. They're the ultimate toy! Take the sodding caps lock away from him as well. I almost gagged at that because someone put an apple in my mouth and put me in the oven. The main menu showed Sally eye her TV screen, still in her darker state. She was still smiling. She can't have possibly enjoyed any of that. Already, I thought her name is Sally, not La Latina. "8:30 p.m. Cole just called me. He said that all the characters you play as in the game is all of EXE's slaves. Turned into horrific parodies of Sonic characters, or at least turned into their favorite Sonic characters. And X sets them up randomly in each game to show us humans what's in store for us." Well, thank you, I'm not bloody interested, go fuck yourself. Wait. Oh god, no. Yes, just finish the game. I won't do it. I won't play the game just to watch you harm her ex. Shut the fuck up, we all know how it's gonna end. Fuck you! Yeah, certainly. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself, you fuck. 25th of August, 2012. More information on X. X has these 7 guardians ruling over his world alongside him. Boring. They are essentially extensions of EXE himself. So is he EXE, Sonic.EXE? Decide already on one name. Made from his power combined with powerful emotions of humans. I sense some anime bollocks. Each guardian is named after the emotions they were born from. And I'm sorry to butcher the Japanese language. So, how are these guardians named? Kito, prayer. Aishu, sorrow. Gekido, rage. Kirai, hatred. Kofuku, happiness. Kyofu, fear. Yukubo, desire. X created these beings not only maintain order in his world, but to cause trouble in ours. As if we didn't have enough salt in our wounds. They corrupt humans and make them more susceptible to X snatching them away by manipulating their emotions. For example, Gekido could bring out your anger and make you violent towards others. So far this shit had made me become violent, but the only direction I want to direct my violence on is the head of this sodding main character of this story. While Yukubo could manipulate your desires and confuse you with what's reality and what's not. Believe me, this one's mission was a complete epic fail, because I know what is reality. Also, Cole has informed me that X plans to one day permanently cross over to our world, so that way his reality will merge with ours and all of mankind will become X's slaves for eternity. You sodding fuck! You had the bollocks to rip Persona 5! You had the bloody bollocks to rip off Persona 5's crossover of the other world with the real one. Now I really hope Phantom Thieves will just kick your sad arse into oblivion. But how? How does he plan to accomplish such a feat? I don't know. I don't fucking care. Cole thinks that the Cole is thinking... Yes, that's how it's written. Cole thinks that the Cole is thinking up ways to make it so. But so far none of their attempts have been successful. Would you mind telling us what were these attempts? No? Then go fuck yourself. Apparently their knowledge in computers is not as superior as the unknown original creator of the disc. Yeah, because their computer knowledge hasn't overstepped the bounds of Microsoft Word. Or even better, the desktop. I asked why Cole knew so much of this. Yeah, exactly. Why you were asking this idiot and not some cult insiders? I don't know what compelled me to ask, but I'm guessing it's been nagging me for some time. And it didn't nag you to actually get to actual cult insider like that Shannon lady. Dear God, poor Cole. He revealed that he was a member of the Cult of X. So not so poor if he voluntarily came to them. But he didn't like it what he was getting into and tried to stop the cult. At least until X got to him first. Yeah, now he's stuck in X's world. He said he's lucky to have been found me since the window is still here. Anyway, he's telling me that he has information on how to put a stop to X and the cult's plans. The best way he knows how to stop X in his tracks is to destroy the disc. That way, his only way in and out of worlds will be gone, and he won't be able to cause any more trouble in ours. And this bloody idiot X didn't notice that this Muppet is still cracking up the internet bill. And for how much? I think it's half a year. Actually in this story has passed half a year, and he didn't notice that his internet bills were going higher and higher and higher. Really. And also destroy the disk. Like you imply there's only one disk, so but in reality there are hundreds, thousands, millions of them. Because what's so difficult to copy the said disk with a simple CD burner? The chief still has the disk. I need to prepare on getting it back. Oh, okay, so I wrongly assumed that you still have the disk, so yeah, the chief still has it, so it's safe there, and don't you dare touching it. 8:42 p.m. X got call. Finally he realized that he was cracking up the bills. Now this sodding leech is punished, is fucked. I was in the middle of talking with Cole while preparing, and then we got disconnected. When it reconnected, Cole's username changed to X. X told me that Cole has been cheating and needs to be punished, and then he posted "ha" over and over and over and over. Why hasn't anyone taken the caps lock away from him? God damn you, SONIC.EXE! And god damn you, JC the Hyena, for publishing this pure unfiltered autism. My hand is still bleeding from shattering the screen. For what bloody reason did you punch the screen? And I'm surprised you didn't get shocked. But maybe you did, and such shock therapy didn't improve your sanity. It actually made the opposite. But I don't care, not anymore. It's time to end this. I'm gonna go get that damn disk and destroy it. If I don't write back after this final entry, well, let's just say that whoever finds this, whoever reads this diary, pleases find it as instructive as you can. You know, I'm reading this for about 2 hours, and I still think that's a load of sodding bollocks. Everything you've read in my diary is the truth. Yeah, keep making shit up. X is a monster from another world, and the cult of X is conspiring to help him take over our world. This cannot happen. And it won't happen because we know it's a sodding load of bollocks. I hope that whoever finds this and tries to put an end to this madness. I hope that whoever finds this and tries to put an end to this madness. This sentence is not written correctly. This is a game on a bigger scale. We are all pawns in an elaborate, chaotic game where the rules are being devised by the mind of a monster. First, get off the caps lock immediately. Second, so if we're all pawns, so where are the bishops? Where are the towers? Where are the knights? Where's the queen? And where's the king? You can't have a chessboard with all pawns on it. Please do whatever you can, friend. I'm not your friend. We weren't drinking together. He must be stopped. I would like to stop you from doing more shite. Goodbye and good luck, Derek Green. Goodbye and fuck you, Parrot Antics. That was Derek's last journal entry. He wrote this 3 weeks ago. Today is his birthday, and now he's dead. Yeah, so dead that he's not dead. We know. I wondered why he acted the way he was during these horrible events. He went completely cuckoo, but also he was a retard. I was worried about my friend, but I never bothered to find out why at the time. I feel so stupid. Now you say. You're so... At least you admit it. You were stupid. Derek tried to fight this battle alone and I did nothing. Not that if you could do anything, because, you know, he wasn't sharing you the details of his investigation. Instead, he gave them to some civilian. I haven't heard from Derek in 3 weeks. Not counting all those times he didn't call me before those 3 weeks, but never mind. But yesterday I got an email from someone named Cole. Aha. Yeah, the same leech that was warped by SONIC.EXE, I think. It was addressed strictly to Bob Richardson. That's my name. Oh really? I thought your name would be something around like Canis Debilis. I clicked on it and it was an audio tape that was made on 30th of September. Yes, because in this world actually the technology went so up in 2012, mind you, that you are able to send a physical audio tape through an email. Not an audio recording file, but an actual audio tape to be played in a tape recorder. That was made a day ago before I got the email. I clicked on it. You don't click the tape. You put it in and press play button. This is what was on the audio tape. And we have in two last pages, and there is a change in the style, because from the prosaic form, we're changing into drama. Recording starts. A man is grunting and yelling as two people are dragging him into the room. Derek. Get your fucking hands off me, you crazy cultist freaks! Oh really? Was that really Derek? Why do you assume that was him? That could be any different. But yeah, given the way he speaks, it might be him as well. The sound of high heels is heard as another person walks into the room. I'm trying to imagine that because I don't walk in high heels. Shannon Goldman. Isn't that what you would call the Christians and the Satanists, Mr. Green? Yeah, because you would surely call the Christians cultist freaks. Really? Derek Goldman struggling his hurt. Something like that. More high heel sounds as Goldman approaches Derek. Goldman. Derek, why do you deny X? Don't you see what he's trying to do for everyone? He only wants to make a world happy as he is. Yeah, because he's so bloody happy doing all that cliched stuff. Derek, quietly. Happy? More loudly. You think stealing souls and turning them into puppets is being happy? Oh, planet is not his toy box, you bitch! If it's all written in capital letters, then expect me really to sound like that. Although, for this idiot, I would rather do a more whiny voice, but unfortunately I can't. So I'm just playing random voices. Goldman, more coldly. It's not your place to decide what X wants with humanity, Mr. Green. He's a divine being that wishes to make humanity happy by showing us the paradise that is his world and taking us from the wretched filth of a planet we've been forced to live on. Yeah, because you were really forced by your mother and father making love without any protection. Derek struggling. Some of us actually like this planet, Goldman. X's world is nothing more than a prison. All X cares about is making us his plaything for all eternity. Can't you see it's not fair? You know what is not fair? You abusing the caps lock. Goldman, surprisingly angry. What do you know about what's not fair? Derek. More than you do, obviously. A loud slap is heard and Derek falls to the ground. Yeah. Sadly, there was no fly. Goldman quietly. You fool. X chose me to be his most loyal. Most loyal who? Servant? Apprentice? Accomplice? Because he knew that I never liked this planet. He knew I want to be rid of the stupidity humanity is causing. But sadly you didn't get rid of this sodding story. I'm perfectly okay with being X's slave. If it means getting away from it all, getting the peace I finally deserve after all this time, and if everyone's gotta go with me, then too fucking bad! Stop abusing caps lock. Derek, chuckling rather shakily. Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter anyway, cause I'm going to stop you once and for all. Goldman. Oh, are you now? With what, I presume? Derek pulls out something from his coat. With this! Several gasps and murmurs are heard. Sadly, I can't do polyphony. Cole told me that the only way X can enter our world to collect more souls is with this! Well, no more! Yes, with just one disk that could be easily copied over and over again. A loud snapping noise is heard, silence is heard. Okay, do I have any disk to snap? Anything? Sadly no. Yeah, I just snapped an invisible CDR. Goldman starts laughing. So Cole told you that, huh? A smart boy, but even geniuses tend to get their information wrong. What? Derek. What? What do you mean? At least she understood what you did not. The best detective of the world that Batman could kiss you in the love pump. That there are many discs within quantities of thousands. Easy, said Goldman. High heels again as Goldman walks across the room. It's true that X cannot enter our world unless someone places that disk into a computing system. Sod off with those fancy words. We know it's this computer. But I'm curious, Mr. Green. The sound of Goldman pulling out something from her pocket. Goldman. Whatever make you both think that disc in particular was the original? Ha ha ha! You bat-owned! Or hedge-owned! Derek shakingly. No, that can't be! Goldman. A brilliant theory, I might add, but I'm afraid it's your last one, detective. The sound of a disc being inserted into a CD drive is heard. Clunk. Yeah, I was trying to reenact how this CD drive would be like. Derek, violent, shrugging and yelling his head. No, let me go. You can't do this! Yeah, yeah, he's yelling like he's possessed. So why not make him sound like a sudden demon? And then strange supernatural sounds unheard. I don't know. And then the audio breaks up and distorts a bit. A new person is walking into the room as Derek is screaming for his life. X. Hi, Derek. Derek. No! No! X more clearly. Ready for round 2! Then loud screeching noises are heard as the audio distorts more badly more. Derek is screaming. SONIC.EXE is laughing. Repetitions. As there is a loud tune playing sped up and in reverse and a loud fast drum-like rhythm booming loudly as the whole audio distorts and breaks up, finally ending in static. Sadly for you, I won't reenact this because I have no bloody idea how to make it all. The audio tape ends. After hearing this, I've never felt so helpless. Both my friends are gone, taken from me. Yeah, one was taken by your other friend, so don't blame yourself. At least about that lady. Because I don't think you should regret the loss of this moron. There's nothing I can do about this. I'm a useless cop after all. Oh yes, Mr. Inspector Debilis admitted that all shitty creepypasta cops are basically bunch of fucking wankers. But I hope someday, someone, somewhere, someone, sunset, yeah, sunrise, sunset, is able to put a stop to this, to do what I failed to do. Not that if you've been trying to do it anyway. I have to hope. I have to believe there is a chance at winning this. I don't think there's any chance. Because if there is no hope, no chance, SONIC.EXE wins the game. The sodding end. Yeah. If we should end a series, then we should end it with a bang. And what a bang it was. A bang made by exploding sewage disposal truck. Let me tell you something. If you tried reading out this, writing a sequel to your story, try at least correct some mishaps of the original. Try put a new light on already established lore or everything. But what do we have here? A story that doesn't know if it's even a sequel, a prequel or whatever, because allegedly the events from the first SONIC.EXE happen somewhere in the middle of this one, and we're bloody confused, and it turns out that it's already happening. It's happening like that long time before that. Like, what the flying fuck? And really, this is just... But But the biggest flaw of this story is the protagonist. The sudden example how useless are policemen in creepypasta stories, at least in the shitty ones, because I haven't seen any in a good creepypasta. He's basically spending most of his time writing blog posts in the journal, in the sudden notebook, and expects to get likes and comments for all that bollocks he has written. He doesn't help in the investigation at all. He basically gives herself praise for what his sister done. He does acknowledge that all people that were victims to that sudden game were dead, even though they were proven they're not dead. He buried his own sister alive when he became one of the victims. He couldn't hold his emotions when he found out he was put off the case. He gave the investigation data, all the evidence, to a stranger, to an unknown civilian who didn't have an authority to see all that stuff. And he makes assumptions out of his dirty haired arse. And in the end, what happens to him? He gets mumbled in the same way the other victims allegedly were mutilated or whatever the hell, killed. Fuck knows what happened to them. If SONIC.EXE was a river of pure unfiltered autism, then SONIC.EXE Round 2 is a fucking geyser. Which is even worse because not only it blasts high up, but its splash can make you burn. It burns you. And even JC the Hyena, the author of both of these putrid stories that should be put in a septic tank deep in the earth, he dared to make a cliffhanger ending. Thankfully, both of these stories were removed from Creepypasta Wiki, and we have never seen the alleged Round 3 of SONIC.EXE. Even the Trollpasta wikis of any incarnation I found, they don't have the alleged Round 3, and thank fucking goodness. Because if this load of shite had a part 3, we would be doomed. And that is how we end the 10th story in our series 1 of the ShitePasta. Yes, I said the series 1 because I plan to tackle more. However, I need a sudden break, because if I jumped straight into 11th, 12th and 13th story 1 week after this, I would possibly go insane. Where do I plan to host the next ShitePasta readout? Possibly in about 2 months, because, well, I also plan some changes to the format, especially in how would I preserve the recording of those readouts. But anyway, My name is Parrot. This was the ShitePasta number 10. Thank you all for your attention and have a good night. Cheers.